those yesterday's dreams when we were young, all those dreams that never came true for you. How can I say I'll make it up to you when I know what you feel, what your heart still yearns for? I'd give you the stars just to lessen the pain. I'd give you the world just to mend your heart. Yesterday's dreams are now memories of a love lost in the sands of time. Days have come and gone. You've always been on my mind. So many sleepless nights alone. Time has slipped away. There's no use in hanging on. Yes, you lived in your world while I searched for mine. How do I try to explain? I never meant to bring you down. Yesterday's dreams haven't changed for you. I see tears when I look in those eyes. Oh, those yesterday's dreams when we were young, all those dreams that never came true for you. I still remember how you smiled at the sun. You'll always be in my memory, and moments like this, when I reminisce those yesterday's dreams.
Get up faster than you do.
Marlon Brando, you're not. Laura, what the hell are you doing here? It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
So what? Never made any difference before.
You're drunk. I'll call a cab to take you home.
I want to stay the night.
We'll see about that. Now, what do you want?
I need a drink.
Sounds redundant.
Bacardi White in the rocks with tonic and a slice of lemon.
I remember.
I'm surprised.
Anything to get rid of you.
Try rat poison.
Cut the melodrama.
So who's up there?
I was till you banged on my door.
Mm-hmm. Who else?
Nobody else.
You sure?
Well, go see for yourself. If you find anybody, let me know. I'll shave.
I bet she's in the closet. Must be getting awfully crowded in there.
I should be so lucky.
You were lucky when you had me around.
What do you want? I want to hit the sack. I'm dead tired.
I'm not.
I'm running out of patience.
So why don't you just join me, Relax.
I prefer to relax in bed by myself.
No booze, no broads. You know, all you got left. Those passé movies on late-night television.
Will you tell me what you want?
I've come for my money.
Oh, we've been through that before. Have another drink.
Getting me loaded's not going to make me forget about the money. Why the hell else would I be banging at your door at 3 o'clock in the morning?
You're my new Avon lady.
Yes, and I'm stuck with a bill for your makeup.
Never use the stuff. I'm a director, not an actor.
Oh, is that so? Well, you're giving one hell of a performance right now.
Listen, Laura. If I explain in words even a Walt Disney fan could understand, then will you leave?
Try me. Sitting in the audience, Gilbert. Any popcorn?
When your aunt died last year, she left you a sizable inheritance.
Yeah, and immediately you started taking an interest in my acting career.
Finish?
Every time you open your mouth, I get into trouble.
When I found out how much money you had, I made you a proposition.
Oh, you sure did.
A business proposition. I asked you to invest in a movie I'm planning to make.
You haven't directed a movie in 10 years, Gilbert.
When you realized what was in it for you, you ran all the way to the bank.
You helped me on with my sneakers.
You knew what you were getting into.
I was getting into bed with a crook. Should have got myself a lawyer instead.
You had the chance.
With you breathing down my neck.
I explained the whole deal when you signed the check. Your money was used to buy the movie rights to Silent Shadows. For peanuts.
That's what you think of my $250,000. Peanuts?
You'll think of it the same way when Silent Shadows makes millions. And you'll get your share.
Sure. When I'm 83. Pension plan's not quite what I had in mind, Gilbert.
Well, trust me, Laura. I know movie material when I see it. I've hired a talented writer, got a top-notch producer, and we're very close to signing a deal.
Deal? Yeah, that reminds me about our deal.
What deal?
Don't play Tom and Jerry with me, Gilbert. You promised me the lead, the part of Mary White.
Me? Make you an offer like that?
You sure have a short memory. You told me I'd star in this movie if I gave you the money. Let's just remember, it's my money that's making all this possible, Should allow me some control.
Control? Of my movie? I wouldn't even hire you as an extra. Our contract specifies that you get 3% of the gross. Nothing more. No lead, no control. Now, it's time to go.
Touch me again, I'll call the cops.
Idle threats are meaningless. You look ridiculous.
Your bullying days are over, Gilbert. Now, why don't we just get out that contract and make a few changes?
Don't you think this has gone far
Come
enough?
on, where is it?
Do you realize that we're playing a movie scene?
Screw your games, Gilbert. This is deadly serious.
It's the one from Casablanca.
Don't give me your Casablanca crap. Give me the goddamn contract.
The one where Bogart is alone late at night in his Café American.
Can your crap, Gilbert.
It's 1941. He's trying to forget Ingrid Bergman and the love they shared in Paris before the Germans marched in. But she's gone back to her husband, a famous resistance leader. Bogart's carrying a torch. He sticks his neck out for nobody. Until Bergman comes to the cafe to beg him for the letters of transit he's holding, so she and her husband can fly to Lisbon in freedom. But Bogart is tough. He won't give Bergman the letters of transit, so she pulls a gun. But Bogart says, if she wants the letters, she'll have to shoot him. She'll be doing him a favor. But she can't do it, because she's still in love with him. He walks up to her, daring her to pull the trigger. Bergman hesitates, lowers the gun, and Bogart takes it. And she falls into his arms, crying. There. It's all right. Here, drink this. As usual, I have to do the thinking for both of us.
You bastard. You bastard, you win again with your stupid games.
Are you all right?
Sure. Sure, I've no money and you won again. A splitting headache. Everything's just rosy.
Well, there's aspirin in the bathroom. I'll get it.
No, you don't. Vulnerable women are your specialty. Besides, I want to make sure it's aspirin I'm taking. I know where the bathroom is.
I was wondering whose toothbrush that was.
Oh, you can stop being so smug. I'll be back again and again till I get what I want.
Damn these keys. I bet they got this old clunker in Sam Goldwyn's garbage. Saved by the bell. City morgue. Oh, hi, David. No, he's making coffee. It's the butler's year off. Can you come over right away? He wants to discuss a couple of scenes. Oh, and I am having problems reading your handwriting. What's the word between never and before on page 87? What do you mean you don't know? You wrote the script. Can't say that word in a movie, David. Oh, all right, I'll wait. Make it snappy. I'm about to hand in my notice. Why wasn't I around when they made silent movies?
You were.
Another crack like that and you take the typing lessons.
And you'll have to make your own coffee. How far have you gotten?
Page 87.
Now, where's that?
It's where the cowboy in the white hat says to the cowboy in the black hat, "You dirty, low-down
Very
rotten."
funny. Makes me wonder why I hired you in the first place.
Because you took pity on a starving, but how shall I put this, beautiful lady who needed a job.
Who told me she was the secretary?
Don't complain, I work cheap.
With your typing speed, I'm overpaying you.
As of right now, Gilbert, you are paying me nothing. You owe me 3 weeks back pay.
Don't worry, you'll be paid soon enough.
My rent is due at the end of the month. If you don't come across by then, I am pitching a tent in your kitchen. At least I will be near the food.
How many pages do you have to type?
Give me a couple of days.
Try 15 minutes.
Slave driver.
David Tanner's coming this morning. I want the script finished by
He
then.
phoned while you were making the coffee. He's on his way.
I hope he's sober.
Do you really think Silent Shadows will make a great movie?
Well, you bet it will. Why do you suppose I spent every dime I could get my hands on to buy the screen rights? This book's got a powerful story, packed with every human emotion. Greed, jealousy, love, hate.
You're beginning to sound like Cecil B. DeMille.
Stick around, kid. You'll see film history in the making.
It's not easy for an old fighter to make a comeback, Gilbert.
Come back? Come back? I've never been away. Just waiting.
Then you've had an awfully long wait. It's been over 10 years since you directed a movie.
Don't worry about me, Dorothy. There's plenty of big names in Hollywood who'll be happy to kill their own mother to get a piece of Silent Shadows.
Funny how the phone isn't ringing off the hook.
Wait until they read the screenplay. They won't be able to open their checkbooks fast enough.
Does this mean I get paid?
It's not going to be easy to find the right actress to play the role of Mary White.
I thought you were testing Laura Mallender for that part.
She couldn't act her way out of a paper bag.
Oh, I heard she was a great little actress. Just needed a break.
Who told you that?
You did.
Really? I don't remember.
What happened? Did she fall off your casting couch?
Hardly. I saw her a couple of weeks ago. She said she was leaving town for a while.
You certainly have a great effect on women. Do you have anyone else in mind? For the movie, I mean?
Well, until there's a deal firmed up, I'm keeping my mouth shut. If word gets around I'm looking for a leading lady, I'll have every two-bit agent in town on my back.
And every two-bit actress in town on hers.
These days, they have to audition. Do you think I'd hire a leading lady for $1 million movie just because she's good in bed?
No. But you'd have the time of your life looking for her. I can see it now. Another day, another lay.
Lame rhymes I don't need. However, a little typing?
They should have given you the Charles Lawton part in Mutiny on the Bounty.
Aye, mighty. Scrub that deck. Tap those fingers to the bone. I'm going to have a shower. Call me when David gets here.
Aye, aye, Captain Bligh. Oh. Story of my life. Oh, just what I need. A screenwriter with a hangover. Oh, you're not David.
I ain't Goliath either. Lieutenant Harrigan, Los Angeles Police Department. You mind if I come in?
Do I get a choice?
I don't have a warrant.
Stay out of the closets.
I can tell this is going to be a tough case. Are you Mrs. Sheridan?
I am Dorothy Groves, Mr. Sheridan's personal assistant.
Oh, that's a new name for it.
Don't get me wrong, Lieutenant. The personal assistant stops at the bedroom door.
Which side?
You're wasting my time.
Jeez, it's like a museum in here.
Try slave ship.
Boss must be another Norma Desmond, only with pants.
You've heard of Norma Desmond?
Well, sure. She was that crazy old silent movie star in Sunset Boulevard. Lived in a decaying mansion with her memories, waiting to make a comeback. What was her famous line? I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
Very good, Lieutenant.
Yeah, well, cops can be film fans, too.
So, welcome to Sunset Boulevard. Guided tours on the hour. $5, please.
Is this for real? I always wanted to hold one of these.
And in the category of best time wasting, the winner is Lieutenant Harrigan.
Mr. Sheridan. Is he in?
He's upstairs taking a shower. Do you want anything to drink?
Coffee. I'm on duty.
I'm impressed. Next time there's a policeman's ball, I'll buy a ticket. I've got to make some more. Do you take yours white or black?
Any color you want, so long as it's hot.
That's what I like, a man with discerning taste. Gilbert, there's a police lieutenant Harrigan to see you.
I'll be right down. Have they run out of guns in the police department, Lieutenant? I'm Gilbert Sheridan. You wanted to see me?
Pleased to meet you. I'm Lieutenant Harrigan.
I didn't think you were Errol Flynn.
It's funny, I get mistaken for him all the time. You knew Flynn.
We were drinking buddies back in the 40s. That's where this came from. He used it in Captain Blood.
Oh, what'd you do for him? Get him a 15-year-old nymphomaniac?
Can I see your badge?
Your privilege, Mr. Sheridan.
Now, what do you want?
You know, I recognized your name right away. Gilbert Sheridan, I said. He used to be a movie director.
I still am.
I haven't seen any of your films lately.
Now, look at it this way, Lieutenant. Just because you haven't solved a murder for a while, that doesn't stop you from being a cop.
Well, when you put it like that...
Are you going to get to the point?
Yeah, I'd like to ask you a few questions, Mr. Sheridan.
Well, get on with it. I'm expecting a visitor.
Oh? Maybe Laura Mallender?
No, I wasn't expecting Laura.
But you do know her.
Laura was a business associate.
Was? Does that mean she no longer is?
Yes.
When did you see her last?
About a couple of weeks ago.
And what exactly was your relationship with her?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
Laura was a close friend. She invested some money in a movie project of mine.
Can you tell me more about it?
I used her money to buy the movie rights to a new novel.
So then there must be some sort of contract between the two of you.
You're good at putting two and two together, Lieutenant.
Yeah, only sometimes I get 5. Could I see this contract, please?
I don't see the point. Are you going to tell me what's going on?
Yesterday we got a call from the superintendent of the building where Laura lives. He hadn't seen her for a couple of weeks, so he checked out her apartment, just in case she was sick. But she wasn't there.
Maybe she found herself a new boyfriend.
Yeah, maybe. The funny thing is, though, there was a message on her dressing table mirror, written with a lipstick.
Really, Lieutenant, this sounds like a plot from a cheap movie.
Sometimes life is like the movies, Mr. Sheridan.
Then Hollywood has a lot to answer for. Well, what did the message say?
Gilbert Sheridan owes me $250,000.
Is that all?
You really owe this dame $250,000?
I told you it was an investment. It bought the movie rights to Silent Shadows.
Any idea where Laura got the money?
Laura told me it was left to her by an aunt.
Do you know the name of this aunt?
No.
Where do you reckon Laura is now, Mr. Sheridan?
I have no idea. Maybe she left town. She said she was planning to the last time I saw her.
None of her clothes seem to be missing.
She could have done anything or gone anywhere. Take it from me, Lieutenant. Laura's a crazy, mixed-up kid. Girls like her who can't make it in the movies leave town every day. You should know that.
Yeah, but this girl left $250,000.
Don't worry. She'll be back for it.
Well, she'd be crazy not to. Or dead.
You've been reading too many detective novels.
I guess that's all the questions I have for now. I'd still like to see that contract.
All right. I'll get it for you. Here you are, Lieutenant. Oh, admiring my trophies?
No. You don't mind if I take this with me?
I do mind. It's the only copy I have. I'll be glad to make a copy for you later.
Fine. Then I'll be going.
I'll see you to the door.
Oh, one more thing. Is this Laura?
Yes. But where'd you get it?
In her apartment. Cabby remembered dropping off a girl who looked like this at your place a couple of weeks ago in the early part of the morning.
Top marks, Lieutenant. You've been doing your homework.
Funny thing is, I couldn't find the cab. You drove her back home.
You won't. I gave Laura a ride back to her apartment.
You wouldn't loan her the cab fare?
She'd had too much to drink.
Who was doing the pouring, you?
No. She was quite capable of handling that herself.
She a lush?
At a guess, I'd say Laura's blood was 70 proof. When you find her, I'd appreciate it if you'd let me know.
I'll keep in touch.
Here's your coffee, Lieutenant. It's hot enough to melt your badge.
The lieutenant has just left.
Next time, I'll make instant.
Oh, I don't need this. Where's David?
Oh, we should be here by now. Have some hot coffee. It'll cool you down. What did the lieutenant want, anyway?
He was asking about Laura.
Oh, your past life is catching up to you. Has something happened to her?
Not as far as I know. She seems to have left town, and Harrigan's insinuating that she met with foul play.
Oh, he's seen too many Charlie Chan movies. Schools have the 3 R's. Police have the 3 M's. Money, motive, and motive.
Oh, God, let that be David. I couldn't take another second with that Harrigan.
Tomorrow I wear my maid's uniform. Oh, this time it really is David.
Were you expecting Goliath?
2 Goliath jokes in one day. Oh, now you're here. What's that word on page 87?
Now, who was that guy who just left?
That, David, was our very own Lieutenant Harrigan of the Los Angeles Police Department.
He does Goliath jokes, too.
A cop. No wonder he gave me a suspicious look. What did he want?
I'm behind with my parking tickets.
For once, can't you give me a straight answer?
He was making some inquiries about Laura. Now, Dorothy, bring the script, as is. Don't bother to type it now.
Coming up. There's no more, I hope. Haven't you heard of writer's block?
Don't panic, this is it.
What am I working on? Another Gone with the Wind?
I hope so.
Let's have fresh coffee. Got a bit of a hangover.
Sure, help yourself. Leave a quarter on the tray.
Oh, this is good.
After 4 rewrites, it should be.
If you get an Academy Award, don't forget my blisters.
I like the scene where the head of the studio tells Mary White she doesn't have the lead in his first talking picture.
That's the key to the whole story. From that point on, Mary hates Goldman. Does everything she can to destroy the studio and him.
But you need to emphasize their previous relationship. That'll give a real twist to Goldman turning her down for the part.
If you go back to the first scene between Goldman and Mary, their old love affair comes across loud and clear.
Maybe. But that was early in the movie. The way these two feel about each other has got to be obvious each time they meet.
Audiences can figure these things out for themselves. You don't have to hit them over the head with it.
When people go to the movies, they pay their money to be entertained, not to think.
There's no rule that says you can't have it both ways.
Not in the kind of movies I make.
Then maybe your kind of movies have had it.
You think I've had it, don't you?
Movies have changed since you last sat behind a director's chair, Gilbert. They're growing up.
Then why the hell are you writing the screenplay if you don't like the way I'll be directing it?
Because Silent Shadows is a great story.
Oh, I'm glad we agree on something. But I own the rights, and that gives me final say.
You're not going to butcher my script.
If you want to work for me, David, you'll do things my way and like it.
You hire a writer to write, not for dictation.
You seem to forget who's paying whom.
Paying? That's a laugh. I don't need this aggravation. I quit. It's for you, Mr. Has-Been. You can hire yourself a dictaphone. Shove it up here.
Congratulations. You just saved us a new ribbon.
Well, he'll be back. It's the 3rd time he's quit since we started working on the script.
Okay, I won't hawk the typewriter.
David and I have these artistic differences now and again. He'll cool off. Then he'll phone to apologize for blowing his top.
Between you and the liquor store, he must run up quite a phone bill.
I'll bet that's David.
He must have driven like crazy to the nearest payphone.
Hello? Who the hell is this? Hello?
That was a one-sided conversation.
Where's the phone book?
Where it always is.
Look up the number of the police department. No, wait. That's really stupid. Harrigan would just love to hear about this.
Gilbert, calm down. What happened?
Somebody. I didn't recognize the voice said, they knew I killed Laura.
Oh, God. I wish David hadn't come back. His handwriting is worse than ever. I am going to go blind. I refuse to play Maud to your pathetic Harold. You want some coffee?
You're no fun at all.
It loses its effect after a dozen times. Between David's rotten handwriting and your silly games, I'm going to be old before my time.
Oh, it's his way of showing he's still mad at me. David likes to play his little games.
You two make a fine pair. How come I'm always the pawn in these games?
Stick it out, Dorothy. Payday's coming.
Is that the same story you tell David?
If David had any money, he'd be boozing it up instead of working on the script.
Is that why his wife left him?
Where'd you hear that?
I got a nose for gossip.
David's wife walked out on him 4 or 5 years ago. He never talks about it, and I don't ask.
How romantic. I'll bet he's still nuts about her.
Now, what time is that reporter from the Chicago Sun supposed to arrive?
7 o'clock. You'd better change. Blood-stained clothes are a real turn-off.
I've got to put on my best bib and tucker to meet the press.
Especially when the press is female.
Oh, it's a woman reporter? Oh, of course, Jessica Peters. The name slipped my mind.
I'll bet. here, fast!
What is it?
It's a police funeral.
So what?
Look whose it is. Harrigan's. It says he was killed in a bank holdup 2 weeks ago.
This is just great. Threatening phone calls, and now I've got a fake cop grilling me. What the hell is going on? You've got more typing to do.
Thanks for reminding me.
Hello, I'm Jessica Peters, Chicago Sun. I have an appointment with Mr. Sheridan.
Come right in. Your timing's perfect. Mr. Sheridan, Miss Peters.
Pleased to meet you.
I hope you brought a whip and chair in your briefcase.
Don't mind, Dorothy. She's a bad judge of character. Shouldn't you be typing?
Sure, get rid of me.
Finally, a little privacy. Can I get you a drink, Miss Peters?
Please, and my friends call me Jess.
What would you like?
Do you have Bacardi White on the rocks with tonic and a slice of lemon?
Yes, I do. It's the specialty of the house.
This is a fascinating room, Mr. Sheridan.
I'm glad you think so. And my friends call me Gilbert.
Did you really know all these stars?
Well, most of them at one time or another.
Would you mind if I took a few photos later? I could use one or two in the article.
I'll be my guest. We're both in the picture business, only mine move.
Can I quote you on that?
Just be sure to spell my name right.
This must be your Oscar. You won this for directing Dawn Till Dawn in 1950.
You've been checking me out. You probably know more about me than I do.
Somehow I doubt it. And that's why I'm here, to dig up your past.
You make a beautiful Sam Spade.
Thanks.
And what shall we drink to, Jessica?
You're the host.
To all the flickering shadows on all the silver screens in all the world.
May they never fade.
Oh, please, make yourself comfortable. Are you a frequent visitor to Los Angeles?
No, this is my first trip.
Funny, I can't help feeling I've seen you before.
Perhaps you've been to Chicago?
No.
I think we should get on with the interview, Mr. Sheridan.
Whenever you're ready.
Do you mind if I put it on tape?
Oh, no, why should I?
Some people get tongue-tied when they know every word they're saying is being recorded.
It doesn't bother me. My tongue will wag like the tail on Rin Tin Tin.
Oh, then we should have a good interview. This microphone will pick you up from anywhere in the room.
Well, fine. Then I can visit the bar as often as I wish. Tell me when you're ready to roll.
Just give me a second. This is Jessica Peters. I'm in Los Angeles, interviewing movie personalities from the 30s and 40s. Today I'm with Gilbert Sheridan, a director who made a number of very successful films in the 40s. We're in his home in Beverly Hills, rambling old mansion filled with memories from the golden days of Hollywood.
I thought I was supposed to do the talking.
Oh, that was just by way of introduction. From now on, I'll just ask questions.
Okay. Shoot.
I believe there's a very interesting story on how you got the name Gilbert.
Yes, my mother was a big fan of John Gilbert. She was in her 9th month when she went to see one of his movies. Halfway through, her labor pains began. An hour later, I was delivered in the theater lobby.
So you were born into the theater business.
Well, you could say that.
And then she called you Gilbert after her idol.
Actually, it was a theater manager's idea. Well, if he'd been playing a Keaton comedy, I might have been called Buster.
Have you always had an interest in the movies?
As far back as I can remember. When I was a kid, every dime was spent at the local picture palace. I grew up on a diet of Chaplin, Laurel and Hardy, Harold Lloyd, and the Keystone Cops. I was fascinated by their pictures. No talking, just black and white shadows dancing around in the dark. Movies are meant to move.
What was your first job in Hollywood?
I landed a job as clapper boy at the Warner Brothers studio. That was 1934. I was only 15.
And your next step up the ladder?
I graduated a prop boy, helped with lighting, spent time in the sound booth. I became a script assistant and worked in the cutting room. Finally, I made assistant director. And over the years, I learned the craft of filmmaking. Well, there were no movie schools back then. You served your apprenticeship on the studio floor. Time and hard work with the teachers.
Do you remember any of those early pictures?
Your glass is empty. Let me get you a refill. During the 30s, I worked on a few classic movies. In those days, Warner Brothers churned out a picture a week.
Why are you staring at me?
It's the angle of your chin.
Are you sure you're feeling all right? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Where were we?
Maybe this would be a good time to take a break.
It's not a bad idea. Will you excuse me? I'll only be a minute or two.
God, you scared me.
It serves you right. What are you looking for, Miss Peters?
Information.
Oh, I thought I was giving you all the information you could ever want.
Oh, I'm always probing for that little extra.
If you're through snooping, maybe we can get on with the interview. Since we're wallowing in nostalgia, I've invited someone from the past.
Someone famous?
You'll recognize the face.
Oh, you're not going to keep me in suspense.
Up to the final second. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. I wangled a job as script boy on Captain Blood, Errol Flynn's first big picture. I got to know Flynn very well. We became real drinking buddies.
Ooh, you look like you'd have won a few duels yourself.
Yeah, I used to be pretty good. I took fencing lessons then. Did you know that Flynn wasn't the studio's first choice to play Captain Blood?
I wasn't.
The part was meant for Robert Donat, the English actor. But there was a contract dispute, and Flynn was given the role at the last minute.
What came after Captain Blood?
Humphrey Bogart.
Bogart, that must have been quite a switch.
No, not really. Flynn and Bogart had a lot in common. They were always fighting the studio, they were fond of sailing, and they never said no to a drink.
What was the Bogart movie?
The Petrified Forest. It was the first time he played a ruthless killer. My next big movie was The Charge of the Light Brigade, with Errol Flynn again. It was during the cavalry charge that the director, Michael Curtiz, gave the order, "Bring on the empty horses."
Empty horses?
And what he meant was horses without riders. Michael Curtiz was born in Hungary, and though he became a master of the American cinema, he never quite mastered the English language. Some of his sayings became as famous as his movies.
I remember reading one in a book of quotes. So next time I send a dumb son of a beach to do something, I've got myself.
Well done. You deserve another drink.
Oh, no thanks. Two's enough for me.
Oh, don't be silly. We just got started.
When I'm doing an interview, I like to keep a clear head.
The Chicago Sun will never know.
Maybe not, but my head will.
Ah, then another drink will help it forget.
You're a hard man to resist, Gilbert.
Ah, now we're really getting somewhere.
I meant as a bartender.
Maybe a double would change your mind.
Then I'll only drink half.
Oh, Jessica, you should be in pictures. You'd be wonderful in light comedy. I think we'd better get back to the interview. It's safer.
What was your next assignment?
The Maltese Falcon. Another Bogart film. This time he was playing Sam Spade, a tough private eye. Peter Lorre and Sidney Greenstreet were the baddies after the Falcon, a cheap black bird.
What was your job on the assignment?
Assistant producer. It was John Huston's first shot at directing, so the studio wanted me to keep an eye on the production. Then came Casablanca, my favorite movie, after my own, of course. It had a perfect cast. Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, Claude Rains, and Dooley Wilson as Sam singing "As Time Goes By."
Play it again, Sam.
Well, actually, he never said that. What he said was, play it. You played it for her. You can play it for me. Play it.
When did you direct your first movie?
That was 1944. I was only 25.
Wasn't that awfully young to be directing for a major studio?
Well, Orson Welles made Citizen Kane when he was only 25, and it's probably the greatest American film ever made.
You had a tough act to follow. What was your first movie?
We'll get to my own pictures later.
I was hoping to wrap up the interview today.
We'll wrap it up. Have another drink.
I haven't finished that one yet.
A poor excuse. When will your newspaper print this interview?
Oh, it won't be for another month.
Well, that's good timing. Now, let's talk about Silent Shadows.
Oh, yeah, the movie you're planning to make.
How'd you find out about that?
Doesn't everybody know about it?
Hardly. Who told you I'm making a movie from that book?
I don't know. I must have overheard it in a conversation. Does it matter how I found out?
I'm not sure.
We can talk about your old movies if you'd rather.
No, we'll discuss Silent Shadows. By the time your interview goes to print, the publicity will be helpful. Well, have you read the book?
No, I haven't.
It's about the coming of sound to Hollywood. The talkies needed voices as well as faces, so the studio sent back east for actors who could speak and writers who could put dialogue on paper. Their new god was the microphone.
Sounds like an exciting time.
It was. And Silent Shadows is an exciting story. Mary White is a popular silent star who can't handle a changeover to sound. She and Steve Goldman are having an affair, but Goldman falls for a New York stage actress who takes over the lead in his first talking picture. Mary fights back, and from then on, it's jealousy, intrigue, and murder. Oh, why don't we act out a scene right here and now?
Not me.
You'll be playing Mary White, and we'll be shooting a scene from one of her silent movies, so you'll have no dialogue. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. I'll play the part of Goldman, the director. A sort of typecasting. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. Think of the article you could write. I played a scene with Gilbert Sheridan, the director of Silent Shadows.
It's not a bad idea. But this better not be some sick sex fantasy of yours.
You hurt my feelings.
Ooh.
Besides, you have the final say with the interview. The last thing I need is bad publicity. Come on! We've got to find you the right costume.
Oh, God, you didn't tell me I had to dress up as well.
Well, that's what movies are all about. Pretending to be someone you're not. Just a minute. I'll be right there. Hold on, I'm coming.
Do I have to do everything around here?
You sure like to keep a guy waiting.
Now that you're here, what is the word on page...
There's no time for that now, Dorothy. Go, sit over there. You can be the audience. Well, hurry, we don't have much time.
At least I won't need to type.
Remember the sequence from Silent Shadows where Goldman directs the silent movie scene from her desert love?
Remember, I wrote it.
Good, because you're playing the part of Hugo.
Oh, no, I'm not. Me writer, not actor.
Oh, yes, you are. I'm testing an actress for the part of Mary White. It'll only take a minute or two.
Actress? I thought you were
Shut up.
Couldn't you get somebody else? I hate this.
You know the story. Besides, you have a big stake in this picture.
All right, but I need a drink first.
No time. Arabs don't drink anyway.
It's just a crummy audition for
Stop
Christ's sake.
talking and get dressed. This looks great on you. Now, put on the headdress. Dorothy.
I feel like a third-rate Valentino in this outfit.
Understandably.
One more remark from the cheap seats, and I'll send you back to typing.
Oh.
Now, remember, David, no talking. You act with your eyes. Are you ready, Mary?
Yeah, they're coming.
I knew I'd pick the right woman for this part. Now, remember, everybody, this is a silent movie, so you can't express your emotion in words. You have to act with your body and your eyes, all right? Now, Mary, you're an Arabian princess who's been captured by Sheikh Omar and carried off to his camp in the desert. Hugo, you've desired this woman since the first time you saw her at the Sultan's palace, and you approach her with passion in your eyes. Mary, You're terrified of the fate that awaits you, and you cringe away as Omar comes closer and closer. Are you ready? No talking. Places, lights, and action.
What are you doing here?
Jess? Where the hell did you come from?
Cut!
The best audition I've seen in years.
That's it. I've had enough.
Son of a bitch. You knew all along Jessica was my wife.
Well, I'm leaving. As for you, Gilbert Sheridan, I'm going to massacre you in this article and every article after that.
Hey, your briefcase and my costumes.
Bastard. Let's go, Jess.
Oh, that was wonderful. The look in their eyes. Best game ever.
I gotta hand it to you, Gilbert. That was pretty clever. But how did you know that she was his wife?
Oh, I saw an old picture of her in David's apartment. Well, she looks a little different now, but the resemblance was close enough. Hello? That voice again.
I still can't believe anybody could be so cruel.
We certainly don't know Gilbert very well. Just loves his games. Who gets hurt is no concern to him. What I can't figure out is how he knew you were my wife. I never told him.
Well, it certainly didn't come up in the interview. Strange being here with you. It's been a long time. Maybe you should go.
Well, if you really want me to, but I prefer to stay. There's so much I didn't get to tell you before you left last time.
David, let's not bring up the past. It just causes bad feelings.
I have to be honest. I felt very lost since you left.
What can I say?
You don't have to say anything. Nice.
Yeah, the Sun's given me a big budget to do this story.
Exactly you working on?
Oh, it's a nostalgia piece on the early days of Hollywood. I'm interviewing all the old movie personalities I can get a hold of.
That sounds really interesting. Say, you wouldn't have anything to drink around here, would you?
You haven't changed much. Actually, the hotel gave me a complimentary bottle of champagne when they found out I was a reporter for the Sun. Ice is melted. Still cold, though. Would you care to do the honors?
Sure. A little bit out of practice. Quick, glasses.
My God.
To meeting you again.
I have to level with you, David. I'm not really here to do a nostalgia piece. I'm here because...
Hey, come on. Easy. You're shaking like a leaf. You can tell me what's going on.
About a week ago, I got a phone call from a Lieutenant Harrigan of the Los Angeles Police.
I've seen him. He was at Gilbert's place.
Well, he said that my sister Laura was missing, and that Gilbert had something to do with it.
You have a sister? Not Laura Mallender.
Well, yeah, that's what Harrigan called her. He described her to me over the phone, and I was sure it was my sister. We parted on bad terms before I ever met you. Last I heard, she was out here. Anyway, this Harrigan said he wanted me to come out and do an interview with Gilbert in hopes that I could find out some information about Laura's disappearance. I'm afraid I failed. Damn it, I knew that money would only cause trouble.
I don't follow what money.
6 months ago, a rich aunt of ours died, and she left us a small fortune. We each got $250,000.
We should sue for alimony.
David, I'm really worried about Laura. This Harrigan thinks that Gilbert did something to get the money.
I always wondered where Gilbert got the money for the movie rights. Jessica, take it easy. Jess, you've done everything you could. I'm sure this Harrigan will get to the bottom of it.
Okay, Harry, you're the producer. But we need to talk money real soon. Buying the movie rights cleaned me out. David Tanner's done a hell of a job on the screenplay. Well, he had me on his back. Don't forget, Harry, I'm directing or there's no deal. Now, what do you mean it's risky? I know it's been a long time.
Oh.
Well, then you'll have to do a selling job.
Do I get a choice?
You can borrow my Oscar if it'll help. I'll polish it first. No, let's try for Burt Lancaster. He's right for the Goldman part. Call me as soon as you know anything. Goodbye.
Morning, Mr. Sheridan. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Well. If it isn't Lieutenant Harrigan of the Los Angeles Police Department. Sit down, please. I was hoping you'd come back.
You seem pleased to see me.
I'm always pleased to see a representative of the law. Your health is good, I hope.
Pretty good.
Solved any cases recently?
Not since breakfast.
Oh, tough luck. Can I get you a coffee?
No, thanks. I had one on the way here.
Tell me, Lieutenant, while you were drinking your coffee, did you consider the merits of resurrection?
What are you talking about?
People coming back from the grave. You're breathing too much for a man who's supposed to be dead.
Dead. I haven't slept for 24 hours, but I didn't think I looked that bad.
The game's over, Harrigan. Or whatever your name is.
Look, I'm used to solving riddles, Mr. Sheridan, but I give up on this one.
Well, maybe you'd like to explain how you missed your own funeral.
Yeah, that certainly looks like I'm dead, all right. Funny, though, you know, I don't feel like a ghost.
You've wasted enough of my time. I think you better go.
Just a minute, Mr. Sheridan. The department wanted me to work undercover for a while. Having me killed in the newspapers is the fastest and safest way to give me protective cover.
You expect me to believe that?
I don't care what you believe, Mr. Sheridan. Phone the precinct. That'll convince you.
That won't be necessary. So, what are you here for this time?
There's been a development in the Melander case.
You've found Laura?
Not yet. I got some more questions for you.
I didn't think you came for fencing lessons.
You recognize this?
Are you moonlighting as a second-hand clothing dealer?
Blood and bullet holes aren't in this year.
Well, you can start a new fad. Teenagers will buy anything.
From the size of the holes, I'd say it was a .38. Do you own a revolver, Mr. Sheridan?
Just the one in the case. But I only shoot pictures.
Could Laura have been wearing this the last time you saw her?
Search me. It was dark and I was tired.
Did you know that one of your rose bushes is dead?
What has that got to do with anything?
So I asked myself, why would a rose bush die? Did it have a disease? Maybe there's too many dogs in the neighborhood. Or somebody dug it up. So I did a bit of digging myself. Guess what I found?
I don't know. But don't you need a digging warrant?
A garbage bag full of women's clothes. Slip, bra, panties,
I know what women wear.
and this dress.
I've already told you I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I know what you told me, Mr. Sheridan, but all the evidence seems to be to the contrary.
Look, Lieutenant, I don't care what the evidence seems to be. I do not know what happened to Laura. I drove her home, and that's the last time I saw her.
But the clothes were found in your flower bed. Now, what would you think if you were in my place?
God forbid.
Look, there's powder burns around the hole. That means whoever fired the gun had to be standing very close. Now, what does that suggest to you?
A nearsighted gunman.
Maybe. More likely, though, someone that Laura knew very well.
There's one thing wrong with your theory, Lieutenant. You're only guessing those clothes belong to Laura.
In this case, I'm willing to bet that 2 and 2 make 4.
To prove there's been a crime, you need a corpse.
If there's a corpse, I'll find it.
You're wasting your time. Somebody's trying to set me up.
Set you up? For what?
I'm not sure. Yet.
Yeah, well, that makes 2 of us. You're not planning on leaving town, are you?
I have no reason to.
Good.
Does that mean I'm under suspicion?
Let's put it this way. You're definitely on my short list. I still need to see that contract. Would you be so kind as to get it for me?
I haven't had a chance to make a copy. You can show yourself out.
I'll be talking to you, Mr. Sheridan.
Now, what the hell do you want?
Hi, Gilbert. A little early in the day for drinking, don't you think?
That's a laugh coming from you.
Well, I can't let you drink alone. I'll have a bourbon.
Are you still sore about yesterday?
It was a dirty trick, wouldn't you be?
I thought it might lead to a reconciliation. At heart, I'm a romantic.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, Gilbert, but it didn't work. What I can't figure out is how you knew Jessica and I were married.
I recognized her from a photograph I'd seen in your apartment.
That was taken about 8 years ago. Surprised you recognized her at all.
It was a long shot, but worth a try. How'd you and Jessica meet?
We were both reporters for the Chicago Sun. We got married, and for a while things were great. I got fired, tried to write a book. You know, the great American novel. Except it wasn't. I started to drink. Marriage fell apart. Came to Los Angeles to try my luck at screenwriting. Jessica stayed in Chicago. We hadn't seen each other for 5 years.
Well, how come you never got divorced?
I guess we never found anybody else we wanted to marry.
Do you realize, David, that you've told me more about yourself in the last few minutes than in the last 6 months?
Well, there's a reason for bearing my soul. You see, I thought if you knew more about me, you might be more inclined to do me a favor.
Well, come on, let's get comfortable. I owe you one after yesterday. Now, what can I do for you?
I want you to kill Jessica.
Excuse me?
I'll say it again. I want you to kill Jessica.
You don't ask for much. Well, just tell me where and when.
It's no joke, Gilbert. I'm dead serious.
I don't believe it. Have you been at the bottle again?
I'm cold, stone, sober. See? Every finger. Steady as a rock.
The only rocks around here are in your head.
Do you remember Hitchcock's movie, Strangers in a Train?
Right now, I wish you were on one.
2 strangers meet in a train. They don't know each other, but over a couple of friendly drinks, the one agrees to kill the other's wife. But only if he'll kill the other one's father. The one wants to marry his girlfriend, but his wife won't give him a divorce. The other one hates his father's guts. So a couple of murders will make them both happy.
What's your point, David?
The point is, Gilbert, that these two characters will both have an alibi. They don't know each other, so nobody's going to suspect them of switching murders.
And I'm supposed to be the other guy.
Now you've got it.
No, I don't. How did the three of us fit into a Hitchcock movie?
Well, you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle yet, Gilbert. Yeah, Jessica and I had quite a get-together after we left. Meal, a few drinks, just like the old days. Almost. I guess we were feeling sorry for ourselves after the trick you pulled. Anyway, I got some news from her that could pay off big. I found out I'm the sole beneficiary of Jessica's will.
Well, lucky you.
I sure am. Jessica told me she's worth $250,000.
$250,000? She's pulling your leg.
Why would Jess lie?
Well, don't ask me. She's your wife. Did she tell you how she got all that money?
Inherited from an aunt sometime last year.
Last year was a good year for aunts.
And I've got a plan to get rid of Jessica.
Here we go again.
Jessica told me she didn't finish the interview, so you call her to set up another. She'll tell you she's booked up during the day, so you tell her to drop by some evening. She's professional enough to want to finish the interview.
Aren't you taking a lot for granted, David?
Oh, I know Jessica well enough. Now, she'll be driving her own car. She's rented one. You invite her in, you fix her a drink, you start the interview. And after a while, she starts to get sleepy. Very sleepy.
Oh, I didn't think I was that boring.
It's not you, Gilbert. It's this. Knockout drops.
Knockout drops? My. Plot thickens.
Yeah. When Jessica's out cold, you carry her out to her car. You drive to that hill on the top of Coldwater Canyon. You stop. You put her in the driver's seat. And you give the car a push. Go straight over the cliff at the first bend. Straight down 100 feet.
Sounds easy.
You can't miss, Gilbert. There'll be liquor on Jessica's breath. She's driving a rented car. She's not familiar with the local roads. You and her just met, so there's no suspicion of foul play. I'll have a cast iron alibi. Clear-cut case of accidental death.
Don't bet on it. The police already have me under suspicion.
For what?
Laura's disappearance.
Did you have anything to do with it?
No, they're way off track.
Then we have nothing to worry about.
There's a flaw in your murder plot, David.
What's that?
You and I aren't strangers. The police are sure to connect us.
Of course they will. They're going to have plenty of questions for you and me. But if we stick to our stories, they won't be able to pin a thing on either one of us.
So, we come to the bottom line. What's in it for me?
Well,
I don't have anyone I want killed.
I think money would be a good incentive. You're forgetting Jessica's inheritance. You'll need plenty to get shadows off the ground.
It's a good point. I think half of that would come in quite handy. Pour me another one.
I was thinking more along the lines of 50,000.
I'm taking all the risk while you're having fun establishing an alibi. You don't want much, do you?
You're a money-grubbing bastard. I'll go as high as 100,000.
No. The way I see it, it's half or nothing at all.
Okay. But I take the 25,000 you owe me for the screenplay from your half.
Fair enough. But remember, we're in this up to our necks. If you try to double-cross me, I'll turn you in faster than you can down a shot of bourbon.
Trust me. I have more than you to gain or lose. Here. So put Jessica to sleep for a couple of hours.
Forever. Do you have her phone number?
She's staying at the Renaissance Plaza, Wilshire Boulevard. Room 315. It's 555-1400.
Could you please put me through to Jessica Peters? She's in room 315.
Looks like you're all set for another game, Gilbert. Only this time you're playing for keeps.
Hello, Jessica? Good evening. I thought you might have changed your mind.
I did have second thoughts.
Well, that's understandable. I really didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
It was more of a shock than anything else. My job is more important than my personal life, and I'm only in town for 2 more days, so I could hardly turn down your offer to finish the interview.
Good. Have any trouble finding the place?
It was easier telling a cabbie. I took a wrong turn off Beverly Lane or whatever it is. That's why I'm late.
Well, you're here now. Let's get started. Can I get you a drink?
No, thanks. I'm driving. When we finished yesterday, we left off at 1944, the year you directed your first movie.
But, well, you have to have a drink. Sort of a farewell toast.
Joined you yesterday. Look what happened.
All the skeletons are out of the closet. No more tricks up my sleeve.
I don't know if I can trust you.
Just a straightforward interview, I promise. But you must have a farewell toast with me. To show there's no hard feelings.
All right, but just one and make it a light one. I still have to drive home.
You can rely on the bartender.
Did you ever work with Joan Fontaine?
No, but she is one of my favorites. Joan won an Oscar for Best Actress in 1941 for a Hitchcock movie called Suspicion.
Didn't Cary Grant play her husband in that?
Yes, he did.
Wasn't he trying to murder her or something?
So the audience was led to believe.
Oh, yeah, I remember. He put poison in her glass of milk.
It wasn't poison. He gave her a sedative.
How long have you lived here?
20 years. I bought this place back in 1945. For a while, back in the 30s, it was owned by Boris Karloff.
That accounts for the creepy atmosphere.
Yes. Sometimes you can hear moaning and distant screams. I think Frankenstein's monster is still lurking around somewhere in the shadows.
The only monster I have to watch out for is you.
You're safe with me, Jessica.
Now you tell me. After I practice my scream. I'm ready to start the interview whenever you are.
Good. Jessica? You picked up the wrong glass.
Aren't they both the same?
Yes, but I put more rum in mine. Well, you said you didn't want a strong drink.
No, I certainly don't.
To success in whatever we do.
Success? All set?
Tingling with anticipation.
What was the name of your first movie?
The Long Ride.
It sounds like a Western.
Oh, it was a murder mystery. The ride wasn't on a horse, it was in a car.
Why was it called The Long Ride?
Because the car was driven by a murderer, and his woman passenger never came back. Well, the murderer made it look like an accident.
Well, that sounds frightening.
The plot wasn't what you'd call original, but I managed to give it a fresh treatment. Well, I guess I was happy with it. Are you feeling all right, Jessica?
I don't know. I just feel really tired. I had a really long day. I guess I'm just tired.
Maybe we should call it quits.
Oh, no, I really could finish this.
Dorothy, where's my breakfast?
Coffee and toast coming up.
Hello? Harry, you must have good news to call me this early in the morning. 2 million? Sure, we could get the picture rolling for that. Did Bert agree to me directing? Run a couple of my early movies. That'll convince him. Harry, I need some cash. When can I see you? This afternoon? Fine. Bye. We're in the money. We're in the money.
Watch it. You'll make a mess. And we all know who'll clean it up.
That was Harry. He's managed to raise a couple of million, so we can start casting for Silent Shadows.
Does this mean I get paid? Money?
I'm meeting Harry this afternoon, so he's giving me an advance and you'll be rolling in it.
Oh, I can hardly wait. I've forgotten what a paycheck looks like.
Looks like we'll need another cup.
Why, you gonna smash yours in the fireplace?
We have a guest, Dorothy.
Male or female?
Now, what's that got to do with needing another cup?
I guess the auditions have already started.
You've got it all wrong, Dorothy.
It's the eternal triangle again. You, me, and the woman upstairs.
This time it's different. There's coffee and toast downstairs.
What am I running, bed and breakfast?
The way you cook?
Ah, make the triangle a square. This kinky side I haven't seen before, Gilbert.
David? What the hell are you doing here?
Nice room you've got. Very comfortable bed.
Depends who you're with.
What's going on?
Oh, isn't revenge sweet?
I like the confusion written all over his face.
Do you understand any of this?
Don't look at me, I only work here.
I give up.
Should we let him off the hook?
No, let's keep him hanging. It's called suspense.
Okay, you're the writer.
I'm getting more cops. Don't start without me.
So, you really thought I wanted to kill my wife?
So you made the whole thing up just to get back at me.
Well, you're half right. We also wanted to see if you'd actually kill for money.
And what if I'd gone through with it?
Couldn't have happened. I was here the whole time, hiding in the closet.
This is getting really kinky.
We wanted to see if you would repeat your crime.
Repeat what crime?
Whatever you did with Laura.
Laura? Well, what's she got to do with this?
Maybe I should start from the beginning.
Somebody better start somewhere.
About a week ago, I got a phone call from a Lieutenant Harrigan.
Oh, not Harrigan again. He's everywhere.
He said he was with the Los Angeles Police Department. He wanted my help to trace Laura Malandar.
Well, why would he call you about Laura?
Her real name is Laura Peters.
It's a small, small world.
Your sisters. I should have guessed. Same taste in drinks, same aunt, same inheritance.
That's right. Harrigan described her to me over the phone. I was sure it was my sister. I said I hadn't seen her in 7 years, but he wanted me to come out and see if I could help in the investigation.
That's why you were searching my desk?
I wanted to find that contract he drew up with Laura.
Everybody seems to want that contract. I'm glad I didn't give it to Harrigan.
Then you pulled that trick on David and I. And that night, along with rekindling an old flame, we cooked up this plot to trap you.
I'm glad there's a happy ending somewhere.
What is the contract for?
I used Laura's inheritance to buy the movie rights to Silent Shadows. For that, Laura gets 3% of the gross. So she stands to make a fortune.
Not if she isn't around to collect it.
Well, that's what I don't understand. She gains nothing by disappearing. Hello? Oh, Harrigan, we were just talking about you. Jessica Peters is here. You're right. It is a small world. Well, I have an important meeting this afternoon. Tonight? Well, tonight would be fine. Goodbye, Lieutenant. Well, the final showdown. Tonight at 9. Would you like a drink, Dorothy?
No, thanks. I need a steady hand to count all that back pay.
That Harry's a real hustler. He managed to get me in advance and got Burt Lancaster to okay me as director.
I'm just wild about Harry.
After 10 long years, it's going to be great to get back in the director's chair. Here's to Silent Shadows.
So, So, what tricks do you have up your sleeves for tonight?
Well, I'm surprised at you, Jessica. A good poker player never tips his hand. This is the final showdown. The gunfight at dawn. The suspects gathered in the library. The final scene of The Thin Man, where it's all explained away.
Sounds dangerous. I'm taking cover in the kitchen.
Do you want to check on coffee?
Sure. You know what your problem is, Gilbert?
Well, if anybody can tell me, Dorothy, you can.
You never grew up. You're still that little boy sitting in the dark watching shadows on a screen.
She reads to you like a book.
Well, she's been around for a few chapters. Can I get you a drink?
No, thanks. I'm playing it safe tonight.
Did you bring your tape recorder with you?
Right here, why?
I think we should record tonight's proceedings.
It's a good idea. Your gun is missing.
You're kidding. It was here this morning. Must be around here somewhere.
Maybe the maid took it out for polishing.
It couldn't be hers. She wasn't here today.
Was the house empty this afternoon?
For an hour or so.
Somebody could have broken in.
Oh, if so, they would have taken more than a gun. I'll see if Dorothy knows anything. I bet that's Harrigan. Right on time for the case of the missing gun.
Gilbert? Gilbert! Oh, come on! Gilbert! Gilbert! Oh, God, this is another one of your tricks.
What's going on?
Help me, he's been shot.
Is this for real?
Gilbert!
Jesus, Prickles.
Come on! He could be dying! Help me up!
Hello? Where is everybody?
Could have been suicide. Didn't see anybody out there. I just heard the shots, and that's all.
What's up?
Gilbert has been shot. He's dead.
Don't let him fool you. It's just one of his games.
Yeah, no breathing, lots of blood. That spells dead in my books.
Half a year's riding down the drain?
Come on, David.
This was my big chance. Sorry, Jess.
I'm Lieutenant Harrigan, Los Angeles Police Department. Who are you?
David Tanner, Screenwriters Guild. So you're here the whole time. So much for police protection.
I got here after it happened.
Here, Jess, here, come on. You better wipe the blood off here.
You don't seem too surprised by what happened, Mr. Tanner.
What I say? You're the greatest of friends. But you had too many friends. But any one of 100 people, he was so well loved.
Oh, Dorothy.
What?
Gilbert's been shot.
Oh, again? He's always shooting himself.
Just what I thought. Suicide.
No, it's for real this time.
Oh, don't be silly. He puts a blood bag in his shirt and he pretends he's been shot. It's great for scaring guests.
This time, it's not a game. Come look for yourself. Well, Lieutenant Harrigan, aren't you going to do anything? Oh, Lord! You're all right.
Sure, Jess. Your kid sister can take care of herself.
How'd you get into the house?
Easy. Back door's unlocked.
What are you doing here? Did you kill Gilbert?
Are you kidding? He owes me $250,000.
Will somebody tell me what the hell's going on
Well,
here?
who are you?
I'm David Tanner, your brother-in-law.
Well, what do you know? It's nice to meet you, David. I'm a few years late, but welcome to the family.
Why do I get the feeling you know about all of this?
Right you are. Guess it's time to explain, huh? I need a drink.
That's the best idea I've heard all night. Anybody else, I'm mixing.
Yeah, I'll have a whiskey.
Jess and I.
Yeah, I know.
I know. We're all waiting.
Well, what do you know? I finally got what every actress wants, a captive audience.
Just get on with it.
The trouble started when Auntie left us all that money. As soon as Gilbert found out, he started taking a real interest in my acting career. And in me.
You had an affair with Gilbert.
Welcome to the real world, Jess. It was just Gilbert's way of getting his hands on my money so he could buy the movie rights. As soon as he got what he wanted, he dropped me like a hot potato.
That was Gilbert's real talent, using people.
So I came here one night to get my money back, only he wouldn't give it to me. And to add insult to injury, he scared me off with another one of his goddamn games. Next morning, I went to the police department. Figured they'd be cheaper than a lawyer. When I was sitting in the precinct office, I heard this one cop talking about another cop who had been shot in a bank holdup. And there in front of me was Lieutenant Harrigan's badge and ID.
You're not a real cop?
Don't just stand there. Take a bow. You deserve it. You did a great job.
Thought the jig was up when Gilbert read about the real Harrigan in the paper.
Well, come on, people. Let's hear a nice warm round of applause for a great performance by my nobody appreciates anything anymore. Look, I offered Mike a part of the money if he'd help me out. I just wanted out of the contract. He was getting nowhere with Gilbert. He wouldn't give it up. That's when we decided to call you. I thought maybe you could help persuade him. You know, we even called Gilbert up in a disguised voice to scare him. Anyway, Mike and I came here tonight to cut our losses and at least get the satisfaction of seeing Gilbert's reaction, but I guess we even lost out on that.
The way I see it, you haven't lost everything. With Gilbert dead, the rights to the book go back to you.
Oh my God. I never even thought of that. Do you really think so?
Yeah. Of course, that also makes you the prime suspect.
Hey, look, I didn't kill him. I swear I didn't. Jess, I swear.
Before Gilbert died, he whispered something to me.
Well, what was it?
Well, it didn't make any sense. He said blackbird.
Black August. His mind was going.
Well, not Gilbert. Why would he waste his dying breath on something that wasn't important?
Maybe he was trying to tell you who the murderer was.
Look, can't you see what Gilbert's doing to us? He's lying there dead, and he's got us playing another one of his games.
What are some other names for blackbirds?
Crows. Magpies. Vultures. Falcons. Ravens.
Falcons, a Maltese falcon. Gilbert told me about the movie. There was a statue of a bird painted black so as to appear worthless.
Well, there's a blackbird in Gilbert's bedroom.
I'll get it.
Look, I don't know. Maybe it was a real Maltese falcon.
Yeah, it was given to him by Errol Flynn.
Look, Mike, this is no time for jokes. I still don't see how the statue of a bird is going to tell us anything.
Here it is.
What's this? It's a marriage license. It's June 16th, 1943, between Gilbert Mercer Sheridan and Pamela Dorothy Rose.
I never used my first name.
You killed Gilbert, didn't you, Dorothy?
I was Gilbert's wife. We were married before his early movies became box office hits. And then when he became a success, he didn't need me anymore. He didn't need anybody. And so I left. Then in the 50s, his career began to slip. Hollywood was hit by television. Warner's cut down their staff, and Gilbert was the first to be let go. He never got over it.
There's a law in this town. You're only as good as your last picture.
He was 35 and all washed up. And that's when he needed somebody to look after him. So I came back.
Why?
I was still in love with him.
Why did you kill him?
Because I couldn't stand to lose him a second time.
Lose him, I don't understand.
I knew as soon as he started directing again that he wouldn't need me around anymore. I could see the changes in him every day. He got closer to directing Silent Shadows. And I couldn't take any more of his affairs. Earlier today, I was polishing the gun. It was given to him by Bogart, you know. I guess I left it in the kitchen. And when I saw it there again, something snapped. I picked it up, walked to the front door, and rang the bell.
Well, I guess that wraps up this case. Somebody should phone the police. Okay. That's enough for me. Laura, don't call me. I'll call you.
I think he's right. We better leave. We're Gilbert. End the game.
Best game ever.